Let's do a Nolan Wells update for people that have been at work. First thing I want to do is I want to knock down this idea. Some people have something in their heads that told them that the police ruled this an accident. That's not happened. We haven't had an autopsy. Okay, so no one's determined the cause of death. So anyone's saying you're making too much of this, obviously the cops already said he drowned. Just get over it. So far, and are treating it as a possible accidental drowning after a boat issue. Somebody said there was a boat, they found him in water, and that's where they are right now. There's been no final ruling. There's been no final ruling, okay? The official cause and manner of death are pending the state medical examiner's autopsy and toxicology results, which could take weeks. So before you dismiss the black young man's life and say, he slipped on a banana peel, before you do that, pump your brakes for a couple weeks. Let's find out what they say. You know, I want to get into other elements of the case, but until we do that, I mean, we have to have people admit that they have biases. I mean, right now they're saying, what's the problem? We have no evidence of foul play. And I'm saying the circumstances are suspicious. Not just because we want them to be, but because they are, and this is America. How can I let you know in very few words what I'm trying to say? Well, what if the shoe was on the other foot? Now do you see the suspicion? Now was there a cause to find out more? Suddenly, I see arrest warrants. Suddenly, I see justice, the wheels of justice, spinning and turning and spinning and turning, and they spinning and they spinning and they spinning. I mean, are we going to be real or are we going to be real? But you framing it like we were wasting our time is bull. If you live in America and you've ever read a book and you know about black folks, particularly in Mississippi, how could you be an American citizen living in America? A black young man goes out with his friends in the pictures of him with three other white guys, and there had to be a fourth because someone took the picture. And they come back and he don't. They don't know what happened. That don't seem suspicious to you at all. You wouldn't be like, huh? I mean, knowing the history of America that happened, you know, it's a country where black people used to get lynched all the time in this country, just openly. They used to sell tickets to this shit. But you act like that was millions of years ago. Hell, it wasn't even 50 years ago. I remember in the 90s they lynched a guy. I'm talking about they got convicted for it. Was it James L.? It was the black dude they lynched in Texas. Dragged him from behind a truck until his head popped off his shoulders. That wasn't that long ago. I mean, it was 30 years. That happened. They did that because they were bored, man. They knew the guy. Nolan's family, via attorney Ben Crump, strongly dispute an accidental drowning. They note he was a strong swimmer, an athlete, and they allege an altercation took place on the boat. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Benjamin Crump. Some people are upset that Benjamin Crump is on the case. They call him an ambulance chaser. I have a rebuttal to that. You know, I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this criticism, right? See, why did Nolan Wells, his family, why they contracted the services of Ben Crump? And I heard somebody say, well, you know, Ben Crump's he doesn't win convictions. He wins money, though. Yeah, he wins money. Yeah, he wins money. Here goes something most people don't know. When it comes to cops, and typically we talk about cops, right? Because when it comes to cops, the percentage of cops that actually pull their guns and use them, very small. Of those that shoot their gun, only about 1% of them ever get any disciplinary action from a bad shoot or anything, okay? I mean, I don't think you understand the hill that you have to climb to get anything or, to get a ruling against a police officer. So I'm not here to defend Ben Crump. So people that are criticizing Ben Crump being on the case, I totally get it, man. In fact, I would probably agree with you if it wasn't for the fact that I'm more concerned with the person, the family, getting attention to their story than I am about Ben Crump. Now, if you know a lawyer that could get them national coverage, and if that doesn't work out, still be able to do a civil suit, let me know, fam. I'm for that. But black people being killed without compensation, without justice for a couple hundred years in this country, and Ben Crump only been an active lawyer for the last 20 years, in 30 years. So I'm just saying, I'm just putting it in perspective for you. We were not getting convictions. Did they ever convict the cops that shot Diallo in New York? I'm just wondering, man. That's one of the biggest cases. Like, how do you justify how many times they shoot Diallo? How do you justify that? I think those cops walked. Ben Crump didn't work that. So I'm saying, people are kind of cherry picking certain stuff, and I understand what you're saying. But being a person in media, I can't get you the publicity that Ben Crump can. I can come on here and yell all day. I'm not going to be able to get you national coverage wall to wall. And I damn sure ain't going to be able to get you international coverage. You understand what I'm saying? And if that's what my goal is, if that's what your goal is, that you want these people to have an opportunity to get justice, you can't get that if you can't put pressure on the powers that be. You gotta be able to pressure them. It don't matter if you're right or wrong in our system. It matters if you can have resources behind you to even get your say, to even get your narrative out. Bump right or wrong. Right or wrong is not germane. It's not pertinent. That doesn't matter. Guilt or innocence doesn't matter. That's not how our country's set up. People take plea deals every day. Not because they're innocent or guilty, because they were afraid if they get convicted how much time they'll be sitting on. Happens every day. Not every day. It happens every probably 10 minutes. So anyway, so my point is back to my thing. Let's forget Crump. I don't like feeling like I'm defending him. I'm just saying, what would you tell the parents? Hey man, go with Bob over here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand the apprehension. I understand the side eye. Yeah, I get that, right? On Crump, when you look at Crump, here go Crump again. I used to say the same thing. But now that I see, maybe it's different for me because I lost a child. And I done had Crump. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know anything about the child I lost. You don't know anything about what I wish I had in my corner at the time. So I'm in a different mind space than you. Because I more relate to the victim's parents, because I am a victim's parent. And I would have loved to have had somebody put a microscope and a spotlight on my situation, but I didn't have that. And I would be a hypocrite to let my personal opinions about Ben Crump and the fact he making money distort my view of them parents and those siblings. Nolan Wells had a little brother, man. And the siblings of the victims. Man, stomach don't feel good. You know, I just visualize people in my comment section saying dumb shit. It just gets me mad. They don't know anything. Then I got to go personal. And then they're so rooted, they're so rooted in their disagreement. They're so rooted in their position. Even when I contextualize it and I give you the backstory of why I feel the way I feel, to let you know it's not being a hack, it's not kissing ass, and I give you that, you still won't accept it because you've already dug your feet in so far on this train of thought. I just proved to you, I just expressed to you where my motivation comes from. It's about the victims and it's about the families of those victims and me understanding firsthand knowledge of how the system works. Cops treated my daughter like she wasn't nothing, man. In fact, I called the cop one too many times. The cop was like, look, man, we ain't gonna ever find out, man. Just, let this shit go, man. Get, I don't know why. I mean, I gave you my card. It wasn't for you to call me, dog. It was a black dude, it was a black investigator. He was like, look, I ain't mean for you to call me. Because I ain't got nothing to tell you, man. I got 10 more of these. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. Good luck to you, but, peace. Lose the number. That's basically what he said. Lose the number, N-word. And it was a brother. I guess he's had the experience that people think this is some TV shit and that you going, oh, I was up all night thinking about you, Mr. Black. How are you and the kids? I think we found a reason or something to run down this thing on your baby girl. There's too many people that watch these movies and they think shit like that. But anybody out there watching this right now, and there's anybody out here watching that knows what I'm talking about, that knows how ineffective, how dismal, how pathetic, how under-resourced law enforcement really is, and how they just inundated with bodies and stories, and they do not treat your loved one. This could be your life, son. This is your life. This is your heart yanked out your chest. And they treat it like, man, this is another day in the neighborhood, fam. You know what I'm saying? You just found a watermelon with seeds in it. You know how many of them we got? Go up on that truck. Here, take these keys. Go on the truck, get you one watermelons out the back. I got 150 of them back there. That's how it is. So that's the standpoint of where I'm coming from. And anything so when I see a family, whether it be Tamir Rice or Breonna Taylor or Terrence Crutcher, anybody, right? Ahmaud Arbery, anybody getting Cyrus Carmack, anybody going through this, whose family's going through this, because these people, I look at it from that standpoint. And it's fine when you're not going through it and you haven't experienced it, but the people that are watching this show who have experienced it in your family, right? There ain't no justice. And anybody who has any chance of getting any of that shit, God bless you. May you find justice. May you find something to give you peace of mind. And if there was any wrong play, may those people be brought to pay for their crimes. Okay? Because for the majority, the vast majority of us, there is no justice. Okay? So when you're online and you're talking shit about something you haven't gone through, I don't know, man, just consider maybe try that shit. Try that. All right.
Catch Tim Black live on the most dangerous show in America, Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Don't miss out on the real. Stay dangerous.